Celeste is a 2D platformer developed and published by the company now known as Extremely OK Games and released in 2018. And it's brilliant. Straight out the gate, I'm not going to make you wait for my opinion. I think it's possibly best looked at from two sides. The first, as a platformer, it's brilliant. But it's also really challenging. Not in the sense that it's hard to figure out what to do, besides perhaps one occurrence the solution is pretty obvious, and if there are branching paths the game will likely provide you with either an over or less obvious peek around so that you can orient yourself, which I found very sweet, but it's simply often really hard to pull off the correct combination of jumps, dashes and grabs with the correct timing to get you through. So you try, and you fail, and you try, and you fail, and you try and you fail, and you improve slowly over time. I witnessed myself going from awkward, slow, testing the waters kind of movements to breezing through the first parts of levels till I finally reached a checkpoint and it felt so good. Seeing myself get better in real time made the achievement of beating a level feel earned, which was brilliant. Now it can be a little frustrating to go all the way to the end of a level only to cock up and have to do it all again, but this game knows that, and understands that it has to do what any good game with this kind of die again mentality should do, and make you restart super quick. The game knows that progression is best when it's constant, when it's smooth and flowing, and when failing isn't punished by sitting through an annoying loading screen. So you don't have to. The whole game is in fact designed really well, from neat little visual background details to adaptive music, which is just an absolutely ace soundtrack by the way, to not kicking off pursuit sections till you've actually started moving. It has a level of competence that is in fact seen lacking in some AAAs, and is wrapped up in a kind of cohesiveness that only indie can bring. The folks at Extremely OK seem to have taken what must be one of the oldest kinds of games, and provided the complete polished best experience that you can have with it. And then on the other side of the coin is the story, which isn't particularly deep and isn't even particularly new, but it knows how to hit you right in the emotions if you're feeling a bit receptive to it, and is also pretty genius. You see, it's about perseverance and overcoming negative mental health, which could be likened to, say, having a great mountain in your head that you feel you have to climb. A great big 3-kilometre high Canadian mountain called Celeste. The story is told through the gameplay. When you're battling with your darkest thoughts, you're literally battling a character that is a physical manifestation of the main character, Madeline's darkest thoughts. And also, as a cute aside, the devs nicknamed that physical manifestation Badeline, as she is the bad Madeline, which is super cute. A great big mention should also be given to the game's assist mode, and particularly the granularity of it. The game seems to follow a philosophy that I'm hugely in favour of, which is providing a default and then letting players tweak the experience to what they're comfortable with. If the optimal experience for you as a player is entirely default settings except on one bit of one level where you need to slow the game down by just 10% in order to make that one super tricky jump, you can totally do that. Similarly, if the optimal experience for you is to play through every level with invincibility mode turned on, it's just as easy for you to do that too. I love it. And as a final point, I want to mention just how much game is inside this game. I've completed it, but I also haven't really scratched the surface. Sure, I've played my way from World 1 to the epilogue, but there are still plenty of strawberries for me to collect, B-side versions of levels to play through, C-side versions of levels to play through, a whole other world that's locked behind some collectibles, and just a free DLC add-on world after that one as well. I've even heard that Celeste Classic, the original 2016 Game Jam version of Celeste, is hidden away inside the main game. All this is just given to you for no extra payment, and while it might seem like I'm awarding the game points for just doing the bare minimum that other games fail to do, for a game released in an environment that was just months after EA's famous Pride and Accomplishment statement, this is the sort of game that I'm truly proud to have accomplished beating. So, oh yeah, the score. Well, I'm once again left wondering if the 10-point system really works, because while I don't quite see the game as a 10 out of 10 like my beloved Obra Dinn, this game isn't just a 9 out of 10 either. It's the best 9 out of 10 that I've ever played.